And welcome to the Bulloch Sports Report. I'm Josh Aubrey. Welcome to one of our summer update shows as we go over some things that have happened over the past couple of months in and around Bulloch County. We begin on the Georgia Southern side of things, where the Eagles opening day is coming up in just over a month. They'll be on the field for the beginning of spring practice next week. Recently, Georgia Southern football held one of their ID camps. We had a chance to talk with head coach Clay Helton about how the ID camp went and how the Georgia Southern football team's been doing this summer. Also, we're going to head over to the Georgia Southern volleyball team, who are holding their team camp, which saw over 300 high school students from in and around Statesboro, Bulloch County, outside of Bulloch County, as well as South Carolina. And we'll hear from Chad Willis on how things went there. As for the high school side of things, plenty of our area high school teams playing in 7-on-7 camps and padded camps. We're going to head over to Screven County, where Statesboro High was participating in the Gamecocks padded camp with another couple teams, including Dublin and Swainsboro. All that and more coming up on the Bulloch Sports Report. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
Trust your eyes to the team that takes care of the Eagles. Professional Eye Care of Statesboro offers a full range of medical eye care, in addition to a wide assortment of glasses, sunglasses, and contact lenses to suit your style.
I'm Dr. Horace Deal. Allow me or one of my associates to provide you with comprehensive medical eye care. And we can help you select from a variety of glasses and contact lenses here at Professional Eye Care of Statesboro.
Well, a busy summer for the Georgia Southern football team and the coaches. They had media day earlier this week. We'll get to that in next week's show. But the Eagles also holding plenty of camps, 7-on-7, and their ID camp as well. We had a chance to talk with head coach Clay Helton about how the ID camp went.
This is a camp that we've done ever since coming to Georgia Southern. It's been ultra important to us. I was just looking out at some of the guys that have been in this camp, like Kebaseka, Elijah McDowell, and others. I think in our camps last year we had 8 guys that joined our team. So huge day for us. This is our elite camp, over 500 kids from the state of Georgia and the attached states, and it's ultra important for us in evaluation. And hopefully the kids come away with some great tools too that they can take back to their schools. You know, it's interesting. I think our first year we were right at about 250. Last year we were right about 400. Now we're over 500 kids. We're about maxed out. We actually had to cut it off 2 days ago, and we still had a ton of walk-ups. So it's great. I mean, we love, one, to help the community, one, to help great high school programs with these kids, and it helps us. It benefits us to be able to eval guys off of. You know, we love to be able to see how kids compete. You know, are they coachable? You know, being able to see them move around, especially the position-specific drills. You know, we do a little bit of competition at the end with some one-on-ones and some 7-on-7s, some one-on-one pass rushers. It's a great day of work for these kids, ultra-competitive, and it gets us a chance to build relationships with them.
For your guys, where are you guys at right now? I know your hands are full and you got a lot of conditioning going on.
Yeah, for our players right now, you know, they're in week 4. You know, you get 8 training weeks over the summer, and so we're in the middle of week 4 right now, headed towards a training camp that'll start around July 29th and have 25 practices before that first game. So kids are in a great spot. James Heiss, our strength and conditioning coach, has done a wonderful job. Plus, you know, that to be able to get the summer training with us too, to be able to be around them, you know, for 2 hours a week is really important. That summer access allows us. So it's been a great, busy June for our coaches, with camps, official visits, working with our own players, but that's what we signed up for and that's what we love. So busy is good.
Well, moving indoors, where it's nice to be this time of year, the Georgia Southern volleyball team coming off a second straight postseason appearance this past week. They held their annual Chad Willis team camps, had over 300 students from the state of Georgia as well as South Carolina in town at Hanner and over at the RAC. We had a chance to talk with him and Statesboro High head coach Bob Massey, whose Blue Devils were part of the camp.
This is the biggest one we've had in terms of our team camp. You're looking at roughly almost 300 plus kids and high school coaches that are here over the course of 3 days, and it's great to see the level of talent. We've got teams that have been coming now for 3-4 years in a row to see their growth as teams, and the trust that we've gotten from those coaches to bring those teams back every year. High level volleyball being played across the board, and great opportunity for our team to give back to the community, especially we've got so many local teams here. So really pleased so far with what we've seen. The way the camp split up is we try and split between a fair amount of skill training and do that in, whether we're drilling or we're doing that in a 6-on-6 scrimmage type format. We want to be able to offer coaches just some different variations of how to train some different skills and systems within that. But then tomorrow we'll shift into more of a competitive day where we're doing some round robin games. We're doing finishing camp with pool play. So, I think for any high school team that chooses to come, you get a really good balance of skill work, team system work, and then you culminate that with some actual playing. Fortunate this summer, we kicked it off early July with our college ID camp. Saw a ton of high-level players come in during that. But even our team camp, when you've got 300-plus kids here, all from the state of Georgia, and we got some coming from South Carolina, it's a great opportunity to expose them to our campus. But we're also getting exposed to some younger age talent that's coming up through the system, and a good opportunity for us to evaluate and get eyes on those kids. I've always said if you want to really elevate your game as a player, go coach, right? Because you have to look through a different lens just in terms of what you're seeing, and a lot of times it's maybe a little bit easier to execute a skill or be able to just go play as opposed to trying to teach somebody to do those things. So we love it from that aspect, that our student athletes they've got to talk things out with players, they've got to show, they've got to demonstrate, they've got to be able to teach the game. And to me, to be a teacher, you've also got to be a learner. So for them, they're also learning some new ways to go about looking at the game as well that offers great perspective.
I think my favorite part is probably seeing the progress they make through the camp. I feel like not a lot of people realize that some drills can really affect a whole team's skill level just from doing it for a few hours. So it's really cool to see their development from the beginning of day one to the end of camp, where they're finally scrimmaging against other teams, and just you can see all the work they put in for the weekend through that day.
First time in 15 years we've ever been to a team camp during the summer. This is the first one we've done. We're doing the commuter part of it because we're just locally here in Statesboro. But I think as a coach, we're seeing tons of drills. We're able to play against a bunch of girls. It's getting our kids a lot of touches. The way Coach Willis is running the camp is smooth. It's easy. It's a lot of volleyball, which is what you want before the season starts. It's more than I could have expected, and I appreciate it.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll check in with how the camps are going for our area high schools. Well, plenty of our area high school teams going to various camps, 7-on-7 camps, which focus a lot on the passing game, as well as the padded camps, which gives the coaches a little bit better understanding of where their team stacks up against other teams. Statesboro High recently over at Screven County, participating in their camp along with Swainsboro and Dublin, among others. We had a chance to talk with head coach Matt Dobson about how things went.
Today, Screven hosted this padded camp, and Coach Duncan does a good job, and a lot of good teams here. So today we came over here, and we're able to put shoulder pads, helmets on, and girdles, and the GHSA allows us just a few days in the summer to do that. And so we were able to come over here and get some really quality work against some good opponents. Played against Dublin and Swainsboro and Screven, among some others. And so the benefit of it is just to work on the physicality of the game. All summer we've been working technique, and we did the 7-on-7s and all that, but today we really get to work the physicality aspect of the game, and that's where the games are won and lost. Who can be more physical, lines of scrimmage, who can move other guys, and so that's what today was all about. We hosted one back in June for 2 days, and then we're coming over here today and tomorrow. So the GHSA allows you one in June and one in July, and they can be 2 days each, and so we take advantage of those 4 days. I think it's critical to get our guys some physical work ahead of the season starting. I think, anytime you get to play some teams that run different offenses than maybe what we run, so our kids see our offense every day in practice, and our defense every day in practice. So seeing some teams who run some different schemes was beneficial. Obviously, Dublin does a tremendous job running their wing tee offense. Coach Holmes is tremendous, and they run some option aspects of it, which we're going to see some option teams a couple of times this year, actually. And then some wing tee teams, we'll see at least one of those. And then defensively, we saw a lot of even front teams, which is different from what we do. And so it's great great for our kids to have to kind of learn on the fly a little bit, make adjustments on the fly, just like we do on Friday nights on the sideline, how we have to adjust to different schemes and different looks we're getting. We have to do that out here, and so it's great practice for our guys and our coaches making those adjustments. I think these days are the most important evaluation days. I think a lot of positions we've kind of set in stone after our June patty camp, but this patty camp is going to get some more film for us. Still got some pieces on the defensive side of the ball. We're moving around, trying to get the best 11 out there, and so you can watch film from in helmets and 7-on-7s, but this is where you really make your evaluations is who can help you on Friday nights in a physical aspect, who can come up and wrap up, make tackles, drive their feet, who can get off blocks, those types of things.
And that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Stay with us. Next week, we're going to start our high school previews, and we'll also check in with Georgia Southern as they get ready to begin fall practice.